Everything else was cool. Let me start out with the main thing. Whoever reported that I told the band not to play the fight song, that's idiotic. Y'all know that. Like, when you saw that, you know that was a lie. We got to start having some kind of accountability to this. I understand that this is a free and an open world, that everybody is not a journalist, everybody's not an analyst, everybody's really hadn't put in a lot of work to do what you all do. I'm thankful for many of y'all that take your job and your craft serious, and consequently, you get facts before you run with false narratives. But please know that that stuff affects people. Me, you've been attacking me my whole life, so I'm good. But other people that's involved, band members, Buffs, faithful, and alumni and all that, sometimes they don't know what to believe. And oftentimes in life, we believe the first thing we hear, in which we shouldn't. I just would challenge you to be more responsible with your reporting. And I never wanted to get personal. So when it gets personal, you gotta really think about that. You gotta understand, I have a huge platform. I could really get personal if I wanted to, but I choose not to do that because that's not right. Some things in life is just not right. And I don't wanna go there and I won't go there. But think about it. Just my family alone, the platform is enormous. If we really wanted to go there, we could go there. But we would never do that. We weren't raised like that, we weren't brought up like that. We were brought up to love that neighbor as much as we can. Now let's continue. Let's get to the good stuff.
Nikki, go ahead.
There she go.
Yep, here I am. Nikki Everett, CU Sports Report. Just beginning of the week, what is the main message that you're trying to instill in your team to really get back in this game?
I think second half defensively, they did that. But we got to start strong. Really accountability, understanding the urgency. I challenge them, if your person that you love the most, that you care for the most, was dependent upon your performance at practice today, how would you go about it? That was the challenge today. So that's how we're going about it. We are holding everybody accountable, including myself, in sense of urgency.
Hey Coach,
How you doing?
Summer Sports. Looking ahead to CSU when they played one of the best teams in the nation and a lot lesser opponent in Northern Colorado. Obviously, two different outcomes. How does that impact your game plan and your scouting this week?
Say that first part again, I'm sorry.
When you play a team like Texas, when CSU plays a team like Texas, that's one of the best in the nation, and
Yeah.
they play a much lesser team like Northern Colorado.
Yeah.
Obviously, two different results. How does that impact your scouting game plan when
It's
you're
a good
kind of
question.
two ends of the spectrum?
Where they're consistent with the plays they run, they're consistent with the personnel changes that they have. They're consistent with some of the things they do. So you scout the consistency in what they run. I know that the wonderful gentleman that coaches them said we look a lot like the same team as last season. I'm not gonna say that about them. I'm gonna say they're doing some wonderful things. And we just gotta be stout to stop them in all phases.
Go ahead.
Hey, Coach, have you gotten a rough timeline yet on Shiloh in terms of how much you miss?
Knowing Shiloh has God in his corner, I'm telling you. I had never seen nothing like it, the healing ability. I think Shiloh was out maybe 4.5 months with a knee surgery. I mean, that's how quickly he came back. Then coming back from a shoulder surgery as well. I mean, Shiloh he has the hand of God on him. So I would say 2 to 3 weeks.
We saw Carter Stoutmeyer replace him.
Yeah.
What does he bring to the mix there?
Carter's big, physical, could play corner, could play safety, could run. Had a couple phenomenal open field tackles. He's the future kid that we went and got out of high school, and he's been doing a wonderful job. He's the son of a professional player. His daddy raised him profoundly. I mean, we talk often. He's one of my dearest friends who played for the Cowboys with me. And we live right around the corner from one another back in the day. But Carter brings a lot to the table. They'll compliment Cam as well.
Jack.
Hey, Coach, Jack Harlow.
Jack Harlow.
You mentioned after the game that Shadozier and I believe Isaiah Harge were dealing with.
Yeah, as well as Shador.
And Shador.
Oh, so you know, it was a TV timeout. And the doctors don't want to take the guys out into the locker room while the play is going. So it's professional that you wait till a TV timeout to take the guys in the locker room to get them checked out. And some of you guys failed to mention that Chidozie was 10 steps in front of Shador when they were going in. Chidozie was 10 steps in front of Shador when they were going in to get checked out by the doctors.
Do you have an update on those three, how they're doing today?
Chidozie, we're praying for him that he can make it back. You know, I like to see one good day of practice before we put those guys out there. I don't know if Harge is gonna play this week. Hayden, I think he's out.
Down Hayden?
Yeah, I think he's out this week. Who else? That's it. I think that's it. I may have forgotten one or two guys, but I feel like that's it. Bentley he practiced today. He's getting it together. He's still limping a little bit. Probably give him tomorrow off because we know what we're gonna get from him on Saturday.
Hey, Coach.
How you doing, sir?
Good. How are you?
Good.
You've mentioned a couple times, but last week that you know you need to get the running game going.
Yeah.
What does it take to actually commit to it and get it going? Like
Well,
early in the game?
sometimes the game dictates certain things you must do. I think you guys see that no started shorts, fourth and shorts. We try to do that. We try to run the football. It's an attitude. It's a straight attitude. You gotta whoop your guy on that particular play. And I think we've committed to it on certain plays. We just got to do a better job in getting to the first down. Today we had 3rd and 1s. We had 3rd and 1 from the 35, I believe. A couple times. If they got the first down, they continued to drive. If they didn't, the next group is up. So we practice certain things weekly. It just depends on the flow of the game. But we got to do a better job of running the football. That takes a lot of pressure off your quarterback and make things easier for Pat.
So as a follow-up to that, I know, speaking to offensive linemen over the years, they love run blocking more than pass blocking a lot of times.
I don't know about that. I don't know if that's a true statement.
Okay, well, I've had a lot tell me that, but
Yeah.
either way.
Have you talked to ours?
I don't.
Yeah,
I don't think so.
so you can't say that now.
Okay,
Yeah.
well, in run blocking, they can be more aggressive, right?
Yes,
'Cause they're going
yes, sir.
forward. So my question would be, is that something that maybe this line could benefit from? Like, they can come out and be aggressive, let those dogs out and let them be aggressive right from the start.
Well, that's the approach. But you gotta understand, when you're looking at certain fronts, you gotta check out of certain things because it's not beneficial. You gotta play the game that tells you how to play it. So oftentimes, just look at the fronts and see why we do certain things. And it'll tell you if it's a heavy box, you're not gonna be successful in running the football in that aspect. So sometimes the thought, what you're thinking, I'm sorry, my Florida come at me every now and then. What you're thinking may not be correct until you really watch the game closely and understand the box. And understand the opposing team's tendencies.
Hey Coach, Ryan Scholes from Ralphie Report. So kind of building off the run blocking question, protections were an issue on Saturday, as
Yes,
you
sir.
mentioned. Have you spoken to the offensive line since then to kind of
course.
instill confidence, and what have you said to the group?
Of course, I feel like we got the right guys. You may see us shake something up a little bit. Phil Lodeholt is a wonderful offensive line coach. Pat does a tremendous job in calling plays, as he did the first game. So you just can't take a snapshot of one game and not understand the first game. We had over 500 yards of offense. I ain't hear all these questions. But I understand it comes with the territory, so you got to ask it. But game to game, it's going to be something else. Like we go out there and run for a couple hundred yards, you're going to say, well, why didn't you throw on 3rd and 2? Why didn't you throw on 3rd and 2? You had a heavy box. You got to let Shador take those one-on-one. So it's going to always be questioned, but we deserve it. When you lose, you're going to be ridiculed. You're going to be prosecuted, persecuted, and I'm good. I've been on the cross for a long time, and I'm still hanging.
Brandon, go ahead.
Hey, Coach, straight at Brandon Cristal from KOA and Guerrilla Sports. How do you impress upon your team that different rivalries mean different things? Because the Nebraska rivalry is a huge tradition, but CU and CSU, these are your neighbors that you deal with
Right.
every day. So
They
how do you
know.
relay that?
They know. I mean, all these kids have social media handles, and I'm pretty sure they know. They spend a quantity of time on social, so they know what time it is when they came here. It was explained from the former players that we retained from last season about how important these rivalry games are. But honestly, to tell you the truth, these games are truly important, but every game is a huge game for us. Every week is a huge game for us.
Sean, go ahead.
John Treese, 9 News. what is maybe the benefit in playing an emotionally charged road game and then having another one the next week?
Another,
Emotionally charged road game.
oh, you mean two back to back?
Yes.
The benefit is you gotta get up. Prayerfully, you learn your lesson from a week ago and you gotta get up. You gotta come out ready to play. From the first snap on, you gotta be ready to play in all positions, all phases, coaching included. We gotta be ready to coach, we gotta be ready to play, we gotta be ready to execute. You don't have time to wait to the second half to try to hit the engine light and turn the car on. You can't do that. You gotta be ready to go. And I love it that they're on national television. They get to showcase their talents as well as, you know, the same thing that bless you and shows your promise, so shows your inconsistencies. So you got to be careful of that. But if you prepare well during the week, you don't have to worry about being inconsistent. If you prepare well and study, you're gonna be okay. And that's what we're impressing upon our team.
Troy, go ahead.
Coach, how are we? Troy Finnegan, CU Sports Report. Following up on that first, does it make it easier to get up for this week after last year when they came in here and gave you guys a scare?
No, every game is, you got to get up for it. Last week was phenomenal. You know, you got your butt kicked. So you got to get up. I mean, you know that. But it shouldn't matter. Like, whenever you see somebody on that schedule, you're supposed to get up. I'm sorry. We shouldn't have to rah-rah and psych them up and just fire them up to go out there and do what they're gifted to do. We just got to make sure they're prepared and they're studied and they're ready.
And then on the offense, that quickly, we talked to Pat a couple weeks ago about his opening scripts. How much input do you have in that, and does that change after a week where you guys started really slowly on that side of the ball?
You started slowly because a couple things transpired. I mean, the first ball got tipped, the second ball got dropped, and now you know you're third and long. So things like that play a tremendous role in what we do. And I think we came back the next series did not somewhat of the same, but close. I think we had another incompletion that we got to do a better job with that. Now we're backed up in our goal line and we make a crazy, not crazy, I wanted to say something else, but I can't say that. It wasn't profanity, by the way. But Shadori has to be smarter from our end zone.
Jason.
Hey, Coach. Jason Jones, Sports Illustrated. Last week, there was an alleged racist incident.
Oh, Lord.
And I just want to know if you'd like to comment.
Alleged, what was that?
Racist incident after the game in Lincoln.
I don't know anything about it. I heard about it, but you got to understand, whoever reported it, was it one of our guys or whatever? I don't know what's that?
There was a slur shouted at coaches and staffers when you guys were packing up.
Well,
Or so it was reported.
no, if they said it happened, when you guys say it happened, don't it mean it happened?
We weren't.
That was a good one, wasn't it? You guys said a lot of things that happened that really hadn't happened. Well, I don't know anything about a racist, so I try to stay out of the race stuff. I don't like to play that card until I'm dealt that hand profoundly in front of others.
Matt, go ahead.
As a coach, how do you balance trusting the process? You hear that like the Sixers and everything, right? Trust the process, even if it's not working in the beginning, you stick with it, versus knowing when to make changes. Like, is that a feel thing, case by case?
We're 1-1 and you want a bunch of changes. Not you, but I'm saying you gotta understand it.
I just meant as a coach, just in your philosophy.
Oh, you know what time it is. Before you guys even sense it, I'm out there practice every day. I'm watching film every day. I'm falling asleep watching dirt tape. So, and I'm going over all the practice grades as well as game grades and seeing what we're got ahead of us and what we did today. So we have a lot of knowledge in-house that you guys aren't privy to that we get to see tape every day. So when we make a change or we don't, there's a reason. And sometimes you gotta trust that we're in the inside. That's like me coming in and tell you to turn the air down in your house. Well, shoot, she likes it cold, or she likes it hot. I can't tell you what to do in your house because I'm not in there.
I guess I really wasn't referring to your specific situation. I think I'm just talking about as a coach, when do you know, well, hey, it's not working, but I can start to see some things that are indicative of us learning versus, hey, that just isn't really working.
I don't know what not working means.
Okay, we can just move on. 14 games into your tenure here, what would you say your identity is that you're
I'm not
building?
looking for my identity, man. I'm looking to win. I'm not trying to find myself. I'm not lost. I'm not looking for my identity. We're trying to win. We're trying to get guys to the next level. We're trying to graduate young men. We're trying to turn them into men, not boys. There's just a lot going on here besides just on the field. On the field is profound. That's the echo of everything. So, number one, we're trying to win. I'm not looking for identity.
The last one I had for you today
Yes,
is
sir.
over the offseason, Coach Norvell's family has made some derogatory comments towards your family.
Yeah.
His wife and his son.
Yeah.
Just curious how you feel about this rivalry and how you feel about your counterpart at Colorado State heading into the game.
I had the honor and the pleasure at the Big 12 meetings to meet his wife. She's delightful.
Did she apologize?
Excuse me?
Did she apologize?
I'm not looking for an apology. I just met her. She was delightful.
Go ahead.
And the rest of his family?
I haven't met them. I don't know. I don't judge people based off what they say when they're emotional. I can't do that, man. My heart ain't built like that.
Understood.
But when you show me who you are, I gotta believe you. But I hadn't seen that. I don't know. I just met his wife and she was delightful.
Gotcha. Thank you, Coach.
Thank you.
Coach, within a variable scope of sports, what role has the scout team need to play this week in order to get you guys that victory on Saturday night?
Tremendous. They've been doing a great job. I think today, instead of going straight scout team, we did a lot of twos versus ones. The twos pretty much ran the scout team today, and they did a phenomenal job mixing in with some of the others. But scout team is vital. They're vital of what they contribute. And we always have, each week, we have scout team players of the week at certain positions, and they get to travel, they get to dress. And we had several guys make it last week that did a phenomenal job in the scout team. So we reward those guys weekly.
Two more, go ahead, Scott.
So, Coach, how you doing?
How you doing, sir?
I'm doing well. You mentioned a handful of times how quarterback Shador in particular have to look out of the defense and, kind of make decisions, based on what play to call. How much freedom really does Shador have at the line of scrimmage?
He has freedom
To make those decisions, and how much is that a part of this offense, down and down?
Well, he has freedom because he's earned it. I mean, he's a senior. He's played a lot of football, seen a lot of football, and he has a tremendous relationship with Pat. They trust one another. You got to understand, the mic cuts off in 15 seconds. So a lot of people, they may not show their hand until that time. So you may change it. They may change the look. So he may have to change the play based on the look. So, but he has freedom.
Last one, Brian, go ahead.
Hey, Coach, I just want to ask you one last sort of a lighthearted,
Yes, sir.
non-football question. Just got to talk to this gentleman the other day, but what impact does it have on your team to have DJ Fedora in there?
It is awesome, man. I mean, you gotta understand, these guys either have on headphones or something. Everybody listens to music, and he does a wonderful job of mixing it up and appeasing everyone in the locker room. I think I got a few country ballads in there as well, to satisfy that country bone that I may have sometime others. Trevor and some of the other guys. So, but he does a wonderful job in mixing it up and putting a smile on the guys' faces and playing some of the hottest tracks that's out right now. He does a great job, and that's vital to these young men. They like to set the mood and the atmosphere for them to go out and play. So he does a great job. I'm proud of him.
All right, thanks, Coach.
That's it? Anybody else? You good? Everybody
Thank you,
straight?
everyone.
Yeah, Coach, what does Tyler Johnson have to do to see the field for you guys?
That's more of a Coach Phil question, but I would. I don't want to say anything wrong that you guys will sprint with. Tyler's coming. He's coming. He's coming. Great kid, works his butt off, does a phenomenal job with his effort, maybe the consistency thereof. But the kid, you can't fault his effort on a daily basis. And I'm a fan of the kid. I like it. I like it. Good kid, works his butt off. Appreciate you guys. God bless you.
Thank you, sir.
Remember, validate everything before you run with it.
Thank you, Coach.